Okay. Hi, ladies. Thanks for coming in. This is the third edition of the Black Mom Spectrum. And if everybody can introduce themselves and tell us how many kids you have and their ages. You can start, Miko.
Hi, so I'm Tamiko. I have a daughter. She's 8 years old, and I only have one kid.
Tiana.
Hey, Anna. One son, 7 years old.
Keisha.
Hi, my name is Keisha, and I have one daughter, and she's 16.
She's 16. And my name is Jasmine. Hello, everyone. I have a 4-year-old son and a 20-month-year-old daughter. And the idea of this Black Mom Spectrum was an idea I saw on YouTube. And it was a Jubilee Spectrum video where they had a group of women, Black mothers, and they wanted to see if their answers to these questions were similar or very, very different, just to see the spectrum of our group.
Combination of both things. I think that I will probably teach my child to abstain as much as possible, but I also want her to be as educated as possible when it comes to sex and all that it comes with, and how to protect yourself and how to be safe when you're doing those things. So I just think for me, it'll be a combination of both. I'm definitely gonna say, wait as long as you can, but I don't want to scare her, or sometimes with children, when you pressure them too much to not do something, they will go. They want to do that thing,
right?
So that's my piece on it. Sorry for all the noise.
Okay, and Tiana, what do you think?
I agree. Sex education, but I mean, I agree that it's a balance. They'll learn it on their own, or they'll learn from friends. So it's better for you to still educate them, even when you're teaching them to abstain. They should still know about it, so that if they are introduced to it or told to it by friends, that it's not a surprise to them. They're first hearing it from you as the parent and not hearing it from friends.
And Keisha?
I would like to say that I agree with the other ladies that it should be a combination of both. Of course, you want your child to make educated decisions about their body, about their, relationships and everything like that. So you want to let them know that their body is the temple, and it is supposed to be offered to God first. And then with that type of mentality, you are very selective. You're very cautious about who you give your temple to. But because we live in a world that basically say do whatever feels good to you, this is the reason why you need to educate your kids about the safety precautions and the repercussions of having sex. It's not just the action, but it's also what comes with it emotionally, psychologically, spiritually. So I think it should be a combination of both.
And welcome, Candace. I see you're staying safe and masked up. That's good. Nice. Social distancing, I hope, right? I had a question for the group. Do you prefer that this sex education come from the school or yourself? Miko?
I think I would prefer a combination of both. I hate to be that kind of person, but my child may be more comfortable talking with someone else about this topic than with her own mom with some things, and she may be more comfortable talking to me about something. So as much education as possible is always the best route to go when it comes to me. Like, just absorb all the knowledge you can.
Right. Does everybody agree with Miko?
Move on from there.
Keisha and Tiana?
Oh.
Go ahead, Keisha.
Oh, I think it should come from the parent first, because normally what you tell your child is tied to the values you have for your home. And also for it ties in with the principles you hold for yourself. A lot of times the school, they give them their idea of sex education that can kind of be perverted in a way. So this is the reason why they need to be able to have a sense of morality along with sex education, as well as just a generalized point of view from the world.
I agree the combination um, from home and from school, but I think for me first. So at least having some idea from the parents first, so that when you are introduced once again, it's not anything you never
Was
heard
your
of.
sex education not really good in school? Because uh, I think it was a little late for us because I don't know if I was like 12 or 13 years old. But I think kids are well aware of sex earlier than 12, 13 years old. What do you think?
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
remember getting it from church too, though. So I remember
Really?
my church lessons more than school.
Wow.
um, yeah, because we had what's called purity class, and yeah, so they were teaching to abstain there. I actually don't remember a lot of talks with my mom. My mom is very passive when it comes to like addressing things. So I don't really remember any talks to her about hygiene and stuff, yes. But I remember school and church for sure having sex education talk.
Hello?
Oh, hello.
Hi, India.
Hey, India.
Hey.
India.
How are you?
Good. How are you on this mess?
Good.
Hey,
If you could
boo.
tell everybody how many kids you have and their ages.
Just one. He's 1 month.
Oh, wow.
I said disagree. Cursing at my child is necessary sometimes. I said disagree.
Were you
Yeah.
cursed at ever, like growing up?
Yeah, Gregory would say like sit your down sometimes and stuff,
Okay.
but not a lot, not a lot, because y'all know I was good.
What do you think, Miko?
Um, what was the question?
Cursing at my child is necessary sometimes.
I agree, because now at this point, when I do it, she'll be like, "Oh, I know mommy is really mad because she used a bad word, and I need to get my act together so I can, straighten up." So I think it's necessary sometimes, because I don't do it often, but when I do, I'm not playing with you. So that's that on that.
Um, India,
I don't know yet. He's a little rowdy already,
I
so I
know
might have to
you're.
pull out a couple words to get him together because he is acting up very early in life. But I don't know. When I was younger, I was, and like Miko said, I think like it set the tone. Like, okay, for real, like I need to do whatever they're telling me to do. So I'm not gonna say it's necessary, but it might be child dependent, because you might have a child who, like that's the only way that they'll listen to you.
Yeah.
So it kind of depends on what kind of kid you have.
Right.
For me, that's just my personal opinion.
Keisha,
I was never cursed at as a child. Um, my child is a teenager, 16, female child. I've cussed at her before, but I don't use that language often at all. I never had to use it when she was a little girl. I only started using it when she was 16. But I think when you constantly use that language around your children, you really desensitize them, so they really don't know whether or not it's being used for them to do something enforced, or is this the regular conversation that mom is having. You understand what I'm saying? You got some people who cuss all the time, and so they really don't distinguish whether or not it's because you're trying to prove a point, or you just use it as a conversation. So I don't suggest that you do it, but if people do it, that's prerogative. But I
Right.
try, I don't do that. I try my best not to do that at all. That's like the last resort.
I'm gonna put you on mute. I agree with all the ladies sometimes, because I've never cursed at my child, but I've cursed because of something that he did. And it's weird because um, it's kind of automatic. Like, you know how if you stump your foot, something just comes out because it's so automatic. So that's kind of how it is. And I agree with you, Keisha. It shouldn't be something that they hear all the time, or they won't understand, what is what. My next question to the group is: my child has experienced racism in their life. That's for the ladies that weren't here for the first two group meetings.
He only been at the hospital so far, and they were pretty pretty nice to us there.
Okay.
But so no, I haven't had any. I know I have personally before later in life, but nothing for him yet.
And you had a smooth delivery, pregnancy.
Yeah, that's what Tayana was. She was kind of like talking to me yesterday. We talked a little bit yesterday about like trauma and birth, and it was. I don't know. I know it's been like a big theme with like Black women being heard as far as like their wants and needs in the labor department. But I don't know if it's because I worked there and I went to the hospital that like was in my system, but they were like really nice to me, and I didn't really have to fight for anything I wanted. I just came right in, said what I wanted, and they did it. So I mean, it was
That's awesome.
definitely a blessing. But I worked with some moms, like in who had deliveries at the hospital I did, and things weren't as smooth with them. So it might have been because I was an employee that they were like a little bit nicer. But yeah, I didn't have any issues with
That's
like racism
good.
or anything. So that was good.
And I think everyone else was here for that question. Miko.
Predominantly Black school now, and before that it was very diverse as well, so I'm not sure that she has, not that I can recall right now.
Okay. That's good.
I picked names that all had meaning. Now, when I got ready to actually give those names to the girls, Bryant didn't really care for some of them. And also, we talked about it and we decided that we wanted their names to be more ambiguous so that they wouldn't be discriminated against as far as like resume or application, anything like that. So, but we did, their middle names, we did get them all Hebrew, and their first names are all somewhat like biblical, even though I wanted to name Lily Selah, but Bryant was like, that's out there. And I was like, but no, but I really like that name. But he wanted to keep the E sound that all the girls have at the end of their name: Chloe, Naomi, and Lily.
Okay.
And I was like, because first he was just like, well, let's pick something that has 5 letters, because Chloe and Naomi have 5 letters. And I was like, okay. So I was like, well, Selah has 5 letters. And I thought we were going to name Lily Selah Amari.
Oh, yeah, that is really cute. But I like Lillian a lot, though.
Yeah. Lily Adina, Naomi Ava, Chloe Abigail.
Mm.
So those are really, yeah.
And I think it fits really well because you're Candace and he's Brian, and it's not out there like he was saying. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Keisha?
I disagree on the last part of the question. I did like it, and I did not choose. I chose it not because it wasn't too Black sounding.
Okay. Because you know how, I don't know if other people was thinking this when they were choosing their name. Did you have that thought in the back of your head or no?
I thought it was unique, and I also thought it was more of an ethnic name. So that's the reason why I chose it, because Arabic / African. I know some people from from the Arabic nation that have that name, and also from African.
What's her name?
Daughter's name.
Her name is Naja Zariel.
Naja.
That's pretty.
Nico, what about you?
I chose my daughter's name because her father. Well, my name starts with a tie. Her father's name starts with a tie, so I wanted to keep the tie going. And you're right, I didn't want it to sound too black, so I named her Tyla, which can be, you know, there a lot of Thai names are very unique and different, and like a Taisha or a Tyrika, and I was not about to go for that, so I picked Tyla.
Because it was more neutral.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I think other people that aren't Black don't understand these other things we have to think about when we,
It's true,
as mothers.
I somewhat agree. Because I knew I wanted to do on one of our initials, so E or T. And I don't know, for some reason I always used to think I wanted to name my baby Terrence. I don't know why I wanted to name him Terrence, but then I wanted to name him Evan. So I was really set on Evan, but his dad thought Evan sounded gay. And I really wanted Evan. I like Evan for some reason, but
I like Ethan better than Evan.
I don't love his name. Is that bad to say? I want to rename my child. But I wouldn't say, I mean, I didn't want anything too crazy. I definitely wanted people to see the name and read it. But I also, of course, did get a little unique with the spelling, because his is Eathan, and then his middle name is Chase. I threw a Y in there because I got a Y. Yeah, so you can still read it, but people still spell it wrong, even though they can still read it. They can pronounce it.
India.
I know I'm like not trying to copy, but kind of somewhat like, I think more so I chose the name because I liked it, but I didn't choose other names because I did want them to be able to have a job later. And some names I feel like, you know, like they are, you do get judged off of your names a lot of times. So then when we were kind of going through some names, I was like, no, I don't want that or that. So I guess in a way it was like I picked this name because I liked it and because I felt like it was a little bit more neutral for them, you know, that would make his life easier later, probably.
Right.
So, yeah.
What's your son's name?
Ashton.
Ashton. Oh, okay. My son's name is Joel, and my daughter's name is Ayao. And since we aren't in the States, and we're in France, Ayao is more easy to pronounce here. I think less people have, fewer people pronouncing.
Right.
But in the States, Ayao, even though it's Aya, 3 syllables, is still difficult for people to grasp.
But before I say my cousin's name, gotta think before I say my baby cousin's name.
Think about it. Ayao and Tiana, which one
I always want to say Ayao. I want to make it yay, not ya. Ayay. I mean, like, is it? And so I always think, is it yay or ya? Is it yay or ya? And I say Ayao, but it's Ayao.
And we chose the name not because it wasn't too Black or too whatever. I let my husband choose the name, so everybody should know that.
Yeah,
but it has grown on me. Her full name is Ayao Aileen Zola Delance, and I chose the middle name because it's my mother-in-law's name plus a name that I really like, Zola. But her first name, Ayao, is an African name that my husband really liked. So I thought it was original, and the fact that it had something behind it, like a meaning, I think it puts power in the name. And I didn't want to succumb to that that complex that we have of saying, oh, is it too Black? Is it not too Black? Blah, blah, blah. So, yeah.
agree.
Why?
Because
That's
it
so
goes
old
back to that
fashioned,
first
Tiana.
question. It kind of goes back to the first question, like, do we think sex education is better than teaching abstinence alone? So I'm teaching my child to abstain. Well, okay, never mind. I'll back off that. But you know what I'm saying, though. Like,
I have
if I'm
no idea.
teaching him to abstain and stuff, so I'm teaching him like the Christian way, like.
No, you say that. Okay, so you are teaching him to abstain. Okay.
So what was the beginning of these? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Hi, Candace.
Wow,
Hey!
wow.
What was the question that you guys are talking about right now?
Right now, I would be disappointed if my child never married.
Oh, okay.
What do you think,
So I was
Candace?
saying agree. I would be disappointed if he never married. Because, I mean, even though that's not like the only way to show success, that is one way that we label. And I'm not married, so, but I plan to be married one day. But I want him to like have that family. You know, you always want, it's again wanting, in my way, or for me, it's wanting what I didn't have or what I don't have yet.
But okay, I understand your point of view, Tiana, but how realistic was it for you to abstain until you got married? I mean, how old are you? 30? Like, can you imagine abstaining until you were 30 years old? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's unrealistic
No.
for your son to abstain until he's
Right. So I won't do it based on
adult.
that. But if I was saying like, okay, so say if my child got married at 24 or something, no, it's not that realistic. But the Lord can keep you if you live right.
I prefer that my kids abstain too, but I want to get your opinion, India.
So the question is, we will want our kids to abstain from having sex until they're married.
No, I added that in there. It's really, the question is really, I would be disappointed if my child never married.
Oh, never married. Okay. I think slightly, I feel bad about saying it, but because not everybody's going to get married, but I think I would be, and it might be from the perspective because I am married, and it's a lot of good things have come out of it, and it's just been a good experience. And I know, like, even with up and down, you know, happy in so many ways. So I would want my child to experience that. So, you know, I mean, like I said, if it didn't happen for them, I think part of me would just be like, are they truly, you know, fulfilled in every area for them? And some people are without having to get married. But I think from that aspect, I would be a little disappointed because I just would want them to experience the things that I have too. So.
Candace?
I think that part of me will be disappointed, but I have 3, so if one of them got married, I think I would be okay. But
be like, listen, 1 out of 3 is good.
Somebody give me grandkids eventually.
So petty. I mean, they can give you grandkids without.
But see how we feel.
I mean, ideally, I would rather them to be, you know, in a stable situation. But however, I do understand that from a biblical aspect, some people, their calling is not to be married. Some people are called to, you know, be parents and to be wives or husbands or whatever. And then some people are not. Some people don't have the capacity to live with other people, or maybe where they're working, what area they're working is, they wouldn't have time to, you know, build a family or be dedicated to their family and also to their work. So if they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, then no, I don't think that I would be disappointed. But if all 3 of them, like none of them got married, then yeah, I think then yeah, I would be.
What about you, Keisha? Would you be disappointed if your child never married?
No, I wouldn't be disappointed. Just like Candace said, everybody is not meant to be married to someone. That's a construct in society that I think was put together to give stability to communities and to children. but it doesn't necessarily work for all adults.